Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I'm saying? As of this recording, it is 9:56 p.m., December 18th, 2024. You know what I mean? And I have no interest in watching AEW Dynamite. I don't give a fuck about AEW Dynamite. So I decided to come with another video. So real quick, I might not be making videos tomorrow because I'm actually moving back to Clinton Hill. So this is my last day here in Gowanus. You know, I enjoyed my time here in Gowanus. It's been like 2 months. The months went by quick, yo. They went by hoppy though, boy, fast. Now, I mean, snap, 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 snap. You know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my time in Gowanus, but ain't nothing like Fort Greene, Clinton Hill. I'm sorry, yo. Ain't nothing like my area. You feel me? You know, let me drink some water because I got a real interesting topic that people probably going to get pissed off at. Hold on. It's not like H2O. I'm not talking about some drag-on shit. You know what I mean? So, what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about something that Vince Russo had mentioned about Sting. And, you know, it prompted me to create this topic because I honestly feel like people get upset. Die-hard wrestling fans get so upset when some of their favorite wrestlers growing up, and even now, you know, have real motives on why they got into the pro wrestling business in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this, okay? There is absolutely nothing wrong with pro wrestlers who just want to get in just to make money and stuff. Who the fuck are you to tell these wrestlers, well, they can't do this, they can't do that? You know? So, with Vince Russo, you know, he mentioned how, you know, Sting, you know, never really had love for the business, right? He said, oh, you know, Sting only got in the business to make money and that's it, right? But so have a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always have jobs that is going to, you know, that people are going to have just, you know, to make money. You know, they might not have love for the business, you know, in the beginning, right? But they, you know, but it over time, like, you know, it's something that they love to do, not only with the money, but, you know, it's basically their career. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, I give you an example. Right, this goes perfectly into what I'm going to say, right? Clifton Powell. Clifton Powell is a great fucking actor. For those that don't know, Clifton Powell is basically Pinky in Friday, and also he was in Menace to Society, Chauncey. You know what I mean? Faggot ass Chauncey. You know what I mean? Great actor, terrific actor, right? Terrific bad guy actor too. You know, he said that he never wanted to get into acting in the first place. He said he just did it for fun. You know, like, acting wasn't even a thought. Like, he wanted to be a football player, right? But, of course, he got injured, and then, you know, one thing led to another, and acting became his calling, right? So, Sting was a bodybuilder, right? He was a bodybuilder along with the Ultimate Warrior. And, you know, although bodybuilding was good, they figured that, you know, we want to do something, you know, we want to do something else that's going to make us money and such. Professional wrestling wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a fucking thought for both Sting and the Ultimate Warrior. But they seen how much money that they can make. And one thing led to another. You know, they got training and such. I mean, look, they had bodies. They had, you know, built bodies and everything, you know, and look what happened. You know, there you go. You know, pro wrestling became their calling, you know, and it happens with a lot of fucking people. A lot of your faves, a lot of your favorites, you know, whatever they wanted to get, especially big men, whatever they wanted to get into in the first, you know, on the first go around, you know, it didn't work out. But, you know, their size and their build, you know, can be used for other aspects, you know, and that other aspect is pro wrestling, right? Goldberg, Same thing with Goldberg. Goldberg never loved pro wrestling. You know what I mean? He, let me get back to Sting. Sting also said that he watched it a little bit growing up, but that was basically it. He never really loved it. But of course he got into it, and some 4 decades later, he must love it if he stayed there for 4 decades and he fucking got it. He got it. AJ Styles is another one. AJ Styles even said he never liked pro wrestling. That's another name. AJ Styles even said he never really liked pro wrestling. And look what happened. He wanted to get into amateur wrestling. That didn't pan out. Look what happened. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Nash is another one. Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash was playing basketball. He was also a fucking bouncer. He never liked pro wrestling. You know what I mean? But he seen that it was a great way to make money. He had the build and everything. One thing led to another. It was fairly easy. He had the size and he got it, and bam, there you go. Lex Luger, same shit. Lex Luger never liked pro wrestling. He never liked pro wrestling, But same thing like with Sting. Lex Luger was a football player. Him, Ron Simmons, same shit with Ron Simmons. They both never liked, pro wrestling, But, growing up, they never liked pro wrestling, but because they had the size and everything else, boom, look what happened. The size and the build, look what happened. And there's a bunch of other names. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is the biggest name out of them all. He never liked pro wrestling growing up, but he had the build. Remember, he's a bodybuilder. He had the build and everything. And what, once the promoters seen what he can do in pro wrestling, once they told him about what pro wrestling is really about and all the money that you can make, one thing led to another, and booyaka. Like I said, a lot of your faves never liked the business. A lot of them, they never really, they never loved the business. And you can't blame them for getting into pro wrestling for money. You can't. You legit can't. I mean, fuck. Brian Pillman, same thing. A lot of these people, listen, they had their first occupation, they had their original occupation first. They either wanted to get into football or they were amateur wrestlers. But you know what? They either wanted to get into football or bodybuilding, but bodybuilding it's not a moneymaker. You know what I'm saying? It's not a moneymaker. But when they seen how easy pro wrestling was and the money that they can make and the training that they can, do, to get in the ring, to make themselves look good, to get money, shit. I would have done the exact same shit. You know what I mean? And it happens like that. Sid, another one. Remember Sid? Sid was basically another one. Like Sid had, again, a lot of these people were not wrestling fans growing up. They were not. And listen, that's okay. That's okay. Again, Paul White. Paul White wanted to play basketball. He didn't really want to get into pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think. You can't be mad at people for not wanting to do pro. Fucking Kurt Angle. Kurt fucking Angle. I mean, he later on, appreciated it. Kurt Angle was another one. He never liked pro wrestling. Same thing with Brock Lesnar. Like, remember, those two were amateur wrestlers. They were amateur fucking wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? And they were fucking great at that. But one thing led to another, and they knew that they could not make, money elsewhere with the occupation that they were doing. Shit. Kurt Angle was doing movies and stuff like that. I'm talking about, fuck my movies. I'm talking about like commercials and shit like that. Like, and he figured, okay, fuck it. Let me give this wrestling thing a shot. And look what happened. Kurt Angle was one of the greatest pro wrestlers ever. Same thing with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a fucking powerhouse. So you cannot blame people for wanting to get in the business. Again, they got a certain look and everything else. You can't blame them. You legit can't blame them. And these are people that, that a lot of you motherfuckers like, and I love these people. You know what I mean? Like, but the wrestling fans get sensitive, like, oh, wrestling should be in your brain. No, in your veins, and you should have loved it when you was growing up. No, the fuck they shouldn't have to. You know, and you're always gonna get more of that. You're always gonna get more of that. You know what I mean? So, like, yo, just live to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, you know, Jade Cargill is another one. You know, Jade Cargill never liked pro wrestling growing up. Remember, she was a fucking basketball player, you know, and, you know, one thing led to another, and, you know, her basketball career was over, and, you know, she got into pro wrestling. And that's another thing, too. You know, a lot of people use pro wrestling as a stepping stone. Roman fucking Reigns is another one. He's another one, you know, but I think in his case it's different because, you know, the Samoan, you know, tradition stuff. That's why. So again, you can't get mad at that. You can't be upset at that, B. You know what I mean? I'm about to be out, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta, you know, prepare some stuff for the move tomorrow. But I will definitely be with y'all on Friday. You know what I mean? So I will definitely holler at y'all. Peace.